Isn't that the joke? And she definitely falls into that. So like the joke was, if she was going to a funeral, she'd rather be the one dead than giving the eulogy. So 3 or 4 months of every year has been pretty miserable for her, so I really appreciate her. I get help every day from her for something that has to do with football. Okay. This year during football season, I came to football practice, and my brother was our defensive coordinator, assistant coach. One of our star running backs happened to be my youngest son. During every game, my 2 older boys would come down and give me some advice or give me a pat on the back and that kind of thing. And then every Saturday morning, I'd wake up and I'd call my old high school coach, who just happens to be my dad, and he'd tell me how great a job I did, and then he'd always tell me something else I should have done or something else, but he's always been a real positive guy. But I mean, I was really enmeshed in something I loved doing, and I got to do it with my entire family, and so it was really an awesome year for me. My dad still asks, why did you kick that field goal, though? That's his biggest question ever since. He doesn't believe in kicking the field goal, and neither do I, but I get talked into it by that whole table over there.
It's not just the way you're looking at it.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Just use that red line.
Hey, I have a lot of interests. I like a lot of things, and some people think that the guys that coach just that's the only thing they love. Well, I like football, but I like the car racing and bike riding and canoeing, and I mean, I like all kinds of different things. But the thing I like about coaching football the most is the guys that play football. They're a little bit different kind of a breed. They're guys that are outgoing. Every year I point this out, and that is, if you go to the homecoming peponation, the homecoming king is usually a football player. The homecoming prince is usually a football player. The junior class prince is usually a football player. The sophomore prince was supposed to be a football player. I don't know, you guys let me down. Is that king? God damn. But it happened again this year. I mean, they're guys that are outgoing. They have skill, but every time they do something, somebody's trying to hit them, and so they're a different breed of person. And that's what I like about coaching football, is the guys you get to be with. And this was quite a year. Had some characters, and man, I had a lot of fun. The other thing that really stands out in my mind this year is, you know, we put a lot of time in. Players and coaches. We had. All I can describe him as is kind of a sourpuss kind of guy. He wasn't going to class. And I hate to be that negative, but I bet he'd say, yeah, I probably was. And I'm sure everybody here has seen the show. It's called The Christmas Carol, where the Ebenezer Scrooge, is always rips everybody off, and then he sees 3 ghosts, and then he wakes up in the morning and thankful that it's still Christmas, and man, he changed his whole life. And I'm not kidding you. I think that guy saw 3 ghosts or something, because from spring to even early summer, he was, I mean, I'm kind of joking, but I'm dead serious. He became a totally different person. He went from being a guy you just didn't like being around to a guy you had to have around. He helped in our youth football league. He was at PLU. He became a heck of a leader. And he was ineligible for the first, actually, 6 games, which was total misery for the guy. And, God, he was probably the most positive guy we had. He played every scout offense and defense and got beat up and didn't even have a chance of going in a game. JV, varsity, doesn't matter. He couldn't even go in a game. And I tell you, I was incredibly impressed over the summer, and then this year I have nothing but good things to say about Jeremy. He is a character. Just by looking at him, how many guys have that much hair on their face? He's been an awesome guy, and thank heaven we got 11 football games this year, so he did get some games to play in. But good job, Jeremy. The next one I'm going to bring up is Guy Willett. Come on.
This guy. And I hadn't heard of him before. I mean, I'd come up and watch the team in the past, but I hadn't heard him before. But he came out and he played some great football for us. He sprained his ankle. You know who I'm talking about. He sprained his ankle. Normal guy, and myself included, I've had sprained ankles. I've been out 2-3 weeks. Would have been out a couple weeks. He sprains his ankles on Thursday and he plays Friday night. And just, you know, tremendous character and courage. We started off the season, we won a couple games. And then some coach, I don't know who had the idea of moving him to linebacker. Okay? And we moved him up into inside linebacker. But I want the key I want to tell you about this guy. He is the essence. We've talked about team. He is the essence of a team player, and what it means in this kind of this special of a group that we had here is we moved him to linebacker, and not once did he flinch or grumble or go, oh, you know, I was doing well at D-line, or are you sure about this, coach? Not even once. Not even a flicker of a doubt. He said, okay, and I'll go there at linebacker, and we moved him to linebacker. And we didn't lose a game after we moved him to linebacker. I'm not saying that was a great coaching move or anything, but I'll tell you the good part of the Freeman and I like to think, and all of us coaches like to take credit for making guys good athletes and stuff. But what we did with Jason Frank is we moved him to linebacker and we said, okay, we're going to get out of his way. You find the football, go coach football. Sometimes the best coaching is just getting the heck out of the way from a good ball player. And I'll tell you what it was, and I come back to it, is his attitude is, hey, whatever I can do to help the team. And he went from the place he's been playing all along, D-line, up to linebacker, and we won 6 straight games after we moved him to linebacker. He's not the only reason, obviously. There was other change, there's a lot of things that happened, but I'll tell you, he was a big reason that we won 6 straight games. And that's Jason Frank. Come on up, Frank.
You said we didn't lose a game after that. I wanted to explain. We don't count Kentwood.
We don't count. We forget those. Okay.